Hello! Today I'm going to show you how I used 3 colors to make this painting. In order to show you how I made this watercolor painting, I'm going to need to talk about one of my favorite subjects, which is pie. And when I say pie, I actually just mean wheels. And when I say wheels, I mean color wheels. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about one of my first loves, the watercolors, and also color theory. In order to do that, I'm going to need to break down the wheel, real fast overview. Here we go. First, we have the primary colors. They are red, yellow, and blue. We have the secondary colors. They are the colors that are made when you put yellow and blue together. You end up with green. And then we have tertiary colors. And those are the very in-between colors. The color that is in between blue and green is teal, one of my favorites. One other note about the color wheel, when I am talking about complementary colors, I mean colors that are opposite each other on the wheel. So yellow and purple, complementary. Green and red, complementary. The thing that's great about complementary colors is that when you mix them together, you can create really terrific neutrals and browns in so many different amazing colors. And we're gonna do that a little bit in this painting. The colors I used in this painting are quinacridone coral, ultramarine turquoise, and lemon yellow. I'm kind of using a triadic color scheme here, but the quinacridone coral and the ultramarine turquoise are strictly speaking tertiary colors. So it could be something like a split complementary color scheme. I don't know, I don't like to follow rules. One thing I want to note is I use no white paint and no black paint. With watercolor, you always use the white of the paper to get your lighter and darker tones. What you see here is a 9.5 by 11 Arches watercolor block, 300-pound cold press. I also am using my classic number 4 round brush and my travel palette, which is available to buy on my website. The colors again are quinacridone coral and ultramarine turquoise and lemon. One of the methods I'm using here on my palette mixing wells is to take a little bit of the color and add it to my shape, but leave that color on the mixing well. Then when I want to create a gradient or a color shift, I introduce just a little bit of a new color into that existing mix. That way I can create the entire painting with slight shifts all the way through from pretty much the same spot on my mixing palette. A note about watercolor when you are mixing is that if you're using good quality watercolors, a little goes an extremely long way. So when you say have a nice delicate orangey color and you want to dull it down a little bit with a little bit of that ultramarine turquoise, just dip your brush in just the barest amount. Just the teensiest amount, because that ultramarine turquoise is a very strong color that will overpower certainly any yellow and probably any quinacridones. So just start out with a speck, just a tiny speck. It's never as simple as like a 1-to-1 ratio when you're mixing color. Every color has a different level of strength, so you need to kind of experiment with each color. It might be helpful to have a scrap page available. I didn't have one when I was working on this one because I prefer to plunge in and risk all tragedy and disaster. However, you may not be as foolhardy as me, and you may be more interested in determining what color you just mixed. It's very difficult to see the color accurately on your mixing palette. And know that most colors dry darker than they look initially when you put them on the page. Finally, in order to make my circle ball orb thingies look somewhat round, I wanted to make sure that they had a little bit of highlight. And in order to do that, when the paint is still wet, you can dab it with your average everyday paper towel and lift the paint to create a sense of a highlight or three-dimensional space. Paper towels are also excellent if you have a spill or you get color in the spot where you didn't want it. If it's still wet or you re-wet it, a lot of times you can lift up that color just by dabbing it with a paper towel. So there you have it, my painting of balls, orbs, round thingies. Hope you learned something about color theory and color mixing. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments below. Also, it's so helpful if you were to massage the like button or maybe fondle the subscribe button. That could be cool. I would like that. And if you want to see more about what I do, you can check me out over on Instagram to see some of my super fast time-lapse videos of painting and other art adventures. Thanks a lot for watching. See you again soon.
Nice.
I'm gonna do that again because that was a little too weird. All right, are we rolling or what?
We are rolling.
Oh, good, okay. Excellent, excellent.